So I remember in 2016, the roller coaster being super overhyped. So we'll see now that my expectations are low. Maybe it'll actually kick my butt a little bit. Over 3 miles and got going at 8, which is early for my standards. And it's actually, I know it's supposed to be 97, but it's been shady with a nice breeze. So I'm gonna take advantage, keep hiking, and then when the heat cranks up, I'll decide where I want to take my long break for the day. But so far, the weather's actually been really nice. So I'm gonna go enter this and see how bad the climbs are. I remember it not being bad, but that could set me up for it actually being somewhat challenging. All right, I'm out. I just had trail magic, so I'm gonna skip the center, get to the hostel that's 3+ miles ahead. Hostel, get to the shelter, take a nice big lunch break out of the heat there. But I had watermelon, soda, Gatorade, Giggles, who's a triple crowner, set up trail magic. I guess her friends are coming through later in the day, so that made my day, and I topped off my water on a hot day. So I'm gonna crush these 3 miles and take a nice big break. I'm excited. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Closing in on the shelter, and I'm gonna take a nice long break out of the heat. I'm sweaty. Yeah. Oh, all right. The Sam Moore shelter is what I'm looking at. Got here well before 2, and it is like 3:15, 3:20, and I'll probably stay here for another 40 minutes at least. It has been hot, and it's nice to get out of the sun in this hottest part of the day. So Rod Hollow, I keep wanting to call it the Rod Stewart shelter, is like 7 miles from here. That'll give me like 17.5, right around there for the day. So with the highs in the high 90s, I'll take that. Maintain the average, keep moving the ball. I keep saying the bigger days are coming, but I got time through the Shenandoahs. I think the temperature's supposed to break on Monday, Tuesday. Gets hot again Wednesday, but then there's a high chance of rain as well. So we'll see. That might be better or worse. Cool things down. But that is what I'm doing. I'm going to go back, get off my feet, and I'll push out maybe around 4 o'clock. Whoa, Jesus. 4 o'clock, and get these 7 miles done and then set up. And I'm going to set up in my tent because I got eaten alive. Even though that Blackburn Center was awesome and there was so many hikers, it was a great night. The sleep was not that good. Bugs, and it's also just hot, so it's hard to fall asleep with the heat. But I did manage to get some good sleep. Not high quality all the way through, but it worked. So yeah, I'm gonna go get back in the shade and hike out around 4. All right, stuff's packed up. I am about to leave the shelter, make a mad run. No, not really at all. I have plenty of time, but grind it out to Rod Stewart Hollow shelter. And one thing I wanted to add, when I was in Harper's Ferry with my girlfriend in the hotel, I could look in the mirror and tell I lost some weight. Definitely mostly fat, but concerning. I don't want to lose too much weight. I started at 176, and with this heat, your appetite just goes out the window. So I did eat a decent lunch, but it took me like probably 45 minutes to an hour of just sitting before my appetite kicked in, and even then I still kind of had to force it. So I'll probably have to do the same thing for dinner. It is 4:15, so it is cooling off. These hours are when it gets beautiful to hike and the breeze is picking up. So I'm going to do these 7 miles, get set up, and enjoy that twilight in these long days. But yeah, concerning, I know I need to eat more, and I have the waysides coming up, so I'm going to treat myself in there when I can and get town food when I can. But yeah, the heat just kind of knocks your appetite out, and this is when I should be increasing my appetite, and it's kind of plateaued, if not even gone down a little bit. So the heat breaks after tomorrow. Wednesday is supposed to be hot again. Interesting with the rain, but aside from that, looking ahead, at least for the short term, a lot of the highs are in the 80s, which is so much more manageable than 97, which it was supposed to be today and tomorrow. So looking ahead, I think tomorrow is going to be similar to today, like 18 miles. I'll do a morning push, take a big break out of the hottest part of the day, and then an evening push and get the 18 miles done. And the bigger days I can ramp up when it's not near 100 degrees. All right, I've said enough. I'm going to get going. Everything's packed up. I just got to grab it and run. Oh yeah, 1 mile from Rod Stewart Hollow Shelter. With the heat and the roller coaster, this is one of those slog it out days, and I still will end up getting 17 and a half, so I am happy with that. Roller coaster, harder than I remember, so I remember being overhyped. I must have gotten older because it was hard and it was hot, which made it hard. All right, I'm gonna finish this out and relax. So now I'm officially done. Roller coaster, as I said, harder than I remember, but still nothing too crazy. Do it when it's not 97 out. That's my word of advice. Oh, Jesus. Rain. Yeah. Oh, I'm sweating. 5 miles in as I trip. When I get to the top of this climb, I'll give a proper update for the day. But that breeze is nice, not super hot yet. And once I get this climb out of the way, then should have a lot of easy terrain up ahead. Left at 8 o'clock, which is early for me. I had to fight to get out of my tent at like 6:45. I could have easily slept till 8:15, but if it was in the high 80s, I would have. Since it's gonna be in the high 90s, I fallen back asleep and trying to get a big chunk done and then take a nice break at one of these shelters, stay out of the heat, you know, anywhere from 1 to 4 o'clock. If I can stay out of the heat 2 of those hours, I'm happy. The breeze is nice. All right, I'll do a bigger update later. Yeah. Oh, that sign hits home. The Shenandoahs are approaching. I'm getting there. Waysides. I got more on the waysides and budget later, but burgers, chicken, milkshakes. I'm excited. I'm going to indulge. I am now over 8 miles in. Manassas Gap is like 4.6 from here, Manassas Gap Shelter. That's gonna be my big break for the day. So I am going to, after this little update, put the pack on and basically just crush it out to there, maybe fill up water, but I think I have enough to get me through. Rain last night, not a lot, but I had to rush. I didn't have my fly on my tent and it was a little bit away where I was eating. So it started raining and I had to make a mad dash, put the fly on, which then made it hot and it never really opened up. It drizzled. There was some rolling thunder, some lightning flashes, but nothing super close by. A little wind, but then that storm moved off and it got real stale and hot, and I could like hear the sweat dripping off me onto my sleeping pad. So I slept well once I fell asleep, but with this heat, it takes me so long to fall asleep. And as I said earlier, I kind of had to, at 6:30, just like be like, you can't go back to sleep because it's going to get hot, so you need to hike. If it wasn't for heat, I would have slept because I need the sleep. And there's almost this like macho attitude of all the hikers of how early they wake up. And I want to be like, well, how much are you sleeping and what time do you get into camp? There's no right or wrong way to do it. Like, I have no problem on a normal temperature day sleeping into 8 if that's what works for me. I've said that before. Remember that if you're ever going to do this. Don't listen to what everyone else is doing. Do what works for you, your body, your diet, your sleep. So many people are like, oh, I'm up at 4. And I'm like, all right, well, are you in camp at 4? And like, I don't know. I need 8 hours of sleep. Like, I feel it like last night when I get 6. It's not the same. But feeling good once I got moving. It's actually not as hot as yesterday. There's a nice breeze in and out. But it's also just past 11, so got plenty of time to warm up. And I think that brought you up to speed. I think I'm kind of through the bubble. I think the bubble was just south and just north and in Harper's Ferry. I'm still going to see plenty of northbound hikers and the May starters and all that, but I've talked to a few hikers that have already said they think the bubble's a little bit ahead. So it's kind of just stretched out in pockets. There's, I guess I was expecting to see like 30 hikers and I'm like, oh, that's the bubble. But yeah. Shenandoahs await. I'm excited for that, and I don't know how far I'm going to go. There's one shelter that I'm definitely going to get to, like the Jim and Molly Denton shelter. You can take a shower there, but if I get there at an early enough time and it's not super hot, not a super long break, I might consider pushing into Front Royal, which would make a big day, but could set me up for the Shenandoahs tomorrow. All right, I've talked enough and my arm hurts. I'm gonna go walk back to my pack and get to this Manassas Gap shelter. Manassas Gap, dude.
They got a little waysides through Shenandoah and stuff. They're all right.
So I passed the Jim, Molly, and Dale Denton shelter. I'm just gonna change all the names and decided I wanted to make the push into Front Royal. So that was determined. Then it was where was I gonna stay. I had some like stealth spots in town that were probably, if someone saw me, get in trouble. So I decided to go to the cabins. It's $40 for a shared cabin space. So I am really excited about that. And bonus, it might thunderstorm tonight, so get me out of the rain. This stretch through here is amazing. A little beautiful flat, really tall trees. But yeah, this will give me like 23 and a half for the day. I don't need much in Front Royal tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna get a dinner tonight, which makes me happy. I can feel it. I need a town meal. And then that sets me up to kind of crush through the Shenandoahs and into Waynesboro and regather there. So really excited. I'm gonna go into high gear because town food is the biggest motivation. The cabin for $40 is a bonus. And take advantage of that $25 to $40 range for a roof over my head. Affordable in my budget. I think my budget is right around average. So yeah, it is peaceful. Overcast, wasn't as hot, so I think that's why I was able to get a much bigger mileage day today and not really feel it too much. So I'm gonna do this. Oh, I can almost taste that town meal. I'm like 2 miles, maybe a little under. This is when it gets real. Yeah, I'm hungry. Tired, not too tired though. Hungry, ready for food. Interesting. There's some kind of bird in there, but don't know what it's all about. U.S. government property. I am so happy to be staying at this cabin, whatever it is. It's like an Airbnb, and then they have a hiker section that's much more affordable. Apparently the husband that owns it, husband and wife, it was a through hiker. So, oh man, sometimes you just need a morale lift. That, a night indoors with no hot humidity and sweating on your sleeping pad, and then also getting a nice town meal. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. Now there's a deer running in there too. Just such a morale booster. And tomorrow, if all goes well, I'll be 400 miles in, and then yeah, this is the start of week 4. I was at mile 370 after 3 weeks. So I have a goal of doing 130 miles. And if I do that, that'll get me to 500 miles in 4 weeks. And I'll be right on pace for that 4-month mark. So yeah, things are going well. Still have to be tested in areas. It's been hot, but haven't had heavy rain yet. So that'll test me. And I got a long way to go. So happy with it so far. Happy to be staying at this place. Happy to be eating food and making some progress. And I think I can get through the Shenandoahs quick, as I said earlier, and then kind of reassess my stuff, my everything, like resupply strategy in Waynesboro. I'm going to go to that Chinese buffet, and I'll probably take a half day because I think they let you camp out there. And yeah, I'll just kind of make a plan. Right now I have a loose plan for getting through the Shenandoahs. Staying light, supplementing meals, pushing bigger days if the temperature's not brutal. And yeah, I think that's it. I think I've said enough. Oh yeah. Chicken parm dinner, pasta, side salad. I'm happy. And they gave us cranberry apple juice. This is amazing. Hospitality. I'll get more into it tomorrow, but yeah, I am very, very happy. Very happy. And I get into the Shenandoahs tomorrow, so excited.